Hello everyone, this is Kevin Ann at Eagle Strong Voice, and today is Thursday, January the 23rd, 2020. I am reading to you a breaking global press statement and announcement. It's issued today in Vancouver by myself under the auspices of the International Tribunal of Crimes of Church and State, the ITCCS, and within the sovereign jurisdiction of the Common Law Republic of Canada. For over 16 months, a citizens' grand jury based in Vancouver has carefully documented the evidence of ongoing crimes against humanity on Canada's west coast. These crimes include the rape, torture, and trafficking of women and children, the harvesting and trafficking of human organs, the cult ritual torture and murder of men, women, and children, the terrorizing, despoiling, and dispossessing of Indigenous communities, and the targeted killing of traditional Indigenous people and political dissidents by both domestic and foreign powers. Now, these crimes have been carefully documented over the past 16 months, and on the basis of that, it's clear from the evidence that a continuity of genocide in Canada exists. This crime has never stopped and involves the same forces of church, state, and business that historically led the genocide, but is now being led as well by Chinese corporate, military, and governmental forces acting in collusion with the Canadian government. Now, on the basis of this evidence, and in my capacity as the North American Field Secretary of the ITCCS, on January 16th, I petitioned the tribunal to convene a common law court to indict and prosecute the persons and institutions responsible for these crimes in Canada, according to the mandate of the ITCCS of June 15th, 2010. In response, 5 days later, on January 21st, I was notified that the ITCCS has assented to this request. Accordingly, I've been authorized by ITCCS to announce the following decisions pertaining to this trial. First, the West Coast Common Law Court of Justice will convene under the auspices of the ITCCS on Monday, March 30th, 2020 at 10 a.m. in the city of Vancouver at a location to be announced. Second, the court will consist of 5 judicial magistrates, a chief prosecutor, and a citizen jury of 24 people. Third, I, Kevin Annett, have been appointed to serve as a special advisor to the chief prosecutor, as I did in the 2 previous ITCCS common law court cases held in Europe between July 2012 and September 2014. One of those cases, if you recall, forced the resignation of Pope Benedict. Fourth, special extra-jurisdictional subpoenas and summonses to appear will be issued to over 50 defendants by the court, including, among the defendants, will be officials of the Canadian, British, and Chinese governments, of private corporations, of the RCMP and the Canadian Security Intelligence Service, and of the Roman Catholic, Anglican, and United Churches of Canada. Fifth, the court will operate according to the norms, principles, and procedures of international law and the common law. Sixth, the warrants, summonses, and orders of the court will have the full binding authority and effect of the law and will be enforced by deputized police and sworn officers of the court, common law sheriffs. Seventh, the court will operate under the political jurisdiction and protection of the Sovereign Republic of Canada, which lawfully supplanted so-called Crown authority on January 15th, 2015. Neither the criminally convicted Crown of England nor the Government of Canada will have any authority regarding our common law court proceedings. Both powers have been notified by diplomatic communique not to interfere with the court proceedings on pain of international censure and sanctions. And finally, eighth, the governments of select nations, as well as judicial and human rights agencies, have been formally asked to send observers, peacekeepers, and forensic specialists to Canada to assist in and monitor the investigations and the proceedings of the court. Now, to facilitate these court proceedings, I have provided to the ITCCS and its legal advisors a complete dossier of all of the evidence of criminality that compelled the formation of this West Coast Common Law Court. In addition, I've been notified that a major European film company will be present at the court and in the field to document its proceedings as part of the production of a television series on the history of genocide in Canada and its ongoing cover-up. This documentary film effort will include an actual feature film based on my own quarter-century struggle to surface this national crime. The film will seek to recover the fading memory of the movement I launched that forced the genocide to light, and also to highlight the targeting attacks that I endured personally. Such information will also comprise part of the evidence submitted into the docket of the court itself. Now, on a personal note, let me say how altogether fitting it is that this historic announcement is being made today on the 25th anniversary of my firing without cause by the United Church of Canada after exposing its murder of children in Port Alberni. The movement that I subsequently led eventually exposed the Canadian Holocaust, toppled crowned heads and popes in Europe, and uncovered global child trafficking networks and child killing networks. It also showed how the ongoing genocide in Canada is being conducted today by the very same individuals who sought my destruction, along with their accomplices in Canada and abroad. Now, my message to all of you today is that I am the living proof that the truth, when armed with human persistence and resolute action, can overthrow the oldest and strongest systems of evil in the world. But to make this miracle happen, we need all of you. We need the active participation of many people to act as court officers, jury members, investigators, and most importantly, as the eyewitnesses. We need you, the people, to provide us with the hard evidence with which we can stop the child killers at every level of government, church, and business. We need you, the people, to protect the court with your presence and to enforce the verdict and evidence and sentence of the court. You must, and you alone must, take responsibility for the world that you wish to see made real. In that regard, there'll be more announcements soon about how to volunteer for the court and serve as jurors. Follow these notices at murderbydecree.com under ITCCF's updates, and listen every Sunday at 3 p.m. Pacific to our blog radio show bbsradio.com/Here We Stand. You can also write to the Tribunal at itccsoffice@gmail.com or to republicofcanada@gmail.com. Finally, in closing, let me acknowledge and honor the people who made this historic step today, and to recognize those who made this court possible. 8 of the Indigenous members of the ITCCS network in Canada who were murdered for confronting the Catholic, the Anglican, and the United Churches for their killing of more than 60,000 children in Canada between 1891 and 1996. These fallen brothers and sisters are Harriet Nahanni, Harry Wilson, Johnny Bingo Dawson, William Coombs, Ricky LaValle, Ron Barber, Edna Phillips, and Louis Daniels. Earth and heaven cover not their blood, or the blood of any of the fallen children. This statement is issued today, January 23rd, 2020, under the auspices of the ITCCS and Common Law Justice. This is Kevin Andy, Eagle Strong Voice. Stand by for more. I thank you.